Listen up, because I'm only going to say this once. My name is Ibrahim Traoré, President of Burkina Faso, and I'm here to tell you something that's been burning in my heart and in the hearts of millions across Africa. We are done staying silent. We are done bowing down. We are done letting foreign powers treat our continent like their playground. A few days ago, a message came out. Words they say came from Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. They claim he warned African leaders to stay in line or face consequences. Whether he said it or not, I don't care. The message was loud and it was clear. Some people still think they can threaten us, scare us and control us. Well, I've got a message of my own and I'm speaking it loud and clear, not just to Netanyahu, but to anyone who thinks Africa is theirs to bully. We are not your colony. We are not your pawns. We are sovereign and we will fight for our freedom with everything we've got. Let me take you back to that moment in Ouagadougou, our capital. I stood in front of cameras, journalists, and my people. The room was packed, and you could feel the tension in the air. Everyone was waiting to see what I'd say. I didn't have a script. I didn't need one. When you're speaking the truth, the words come straight from the heart. I looked into the camera, and I spoke directly to Netanyahu. I said, we are no longer colonies. We are sovereign nations. If any foreign leader thinks they can threaten Africa into submission, they are gravely mistaken. The room went quiet. You could hear the weight of those words settle over everyone. But I wasn't done. I leaned forward and said, let me make this crystal clear to you, Mr. Netanyahu. Burkina Faso does not answer to Tel Aviv. We don't answer to Washington. We don't answer to any force that thinks it can buy us or bomb us into doing what they want. I meant every word. This wasn't just about Israel. This was about every nation that's ever tried to control Africa, exploit our resources or silence our people. I ended with a warning. If you come for one of us, you come for all of us. Africa is not yours to threaten. You might be wondering why I chose to speak out like that. Why not stay quiet like so many leaders before me? Why not send a polite letter or make a phone call behind closed doors? Because that's not who I am. That's not what Burkina Faso stands for anymore. And that's not what Africa needs. For too long, our continent has been treated like a place where powerful countries can do whatever they want. They've taken our gold, our diamonds, our oil. They've drawn lines on our maps, split our people apart, and told us how to live. Even after we fought for independence, they kept meddling, using money, threats, or soldiers to keep us in line. I'm done with that. My people are done with that. Africa is done with that. When I heard about Netanyahu's so-called warning, it wasn't just an insult to me or Burkina Faso. It was an insult to every African who's ever dreamed of a free, proud, and united continent. I couldn't stay silent. Silence is what they expect from us. They expect us to be afraid, to bow our heads, to say, yes, sir. But I'm not that kind of leader. I'm here to fight for my people, for our dignity and for our future. And I know I'm not alone. After I spoke, something incredible happened. My words didn't just stay in that room in Ouagadougou. They spread like wildfire. People started sharing the video of my speech on X, Telegram, WhatsApp, everywhere. Within hours, millions of people had seen it. Not just in Burkina Faso, but across Africa and beyond. Young people in Mali, farmers in Niger, students in Guinea, activists in South Africa. They all heard my voice and they felt it. They weren't just listening to me, they were hearing their own hopes, their own anger, their own dreams. In Mali, my brother Colonel Assimi Goïta shared the clip on social media. In Guinea, Mamadi Doumbouya stood up and said he's with me. Across Telegram groups, people started using hashtags like Africa will not bow and we stand with Traoré. Those words weren't just slogans, they were a battle cry. They were a sign that Africa is waking up. We're not just a bunch of countries anymore. We're a family. And when one of us is threatened, we all stand together. Let me tell you what sovereignty means to me. It's not just a fancy word you find in books. It's the right to make our own choices. It's the right to say who comes into our land, who takes our resources, and who we work with. It's the right to stand tall and say, this is our home, and we decide what happens here. For too long, foreign powers have treated Africa like a chessboard. They move their pieces, soldiers, money, companies, and expect us to sit quietly while they play their game. Not anymore. In Burkina Faso, we're taking back control. We're saying no to foreign bases on our soil. We're saying no to deals that leave our people poor while others get rich. We're saying no to threats that try to scare us into submission. And we're not alone. Across the Sahel, Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, we're building an alliance. We call it the Sahel Alliance, and it's about standing together, protecting each other, and building a future where Africa calls the shots. You might be thinking, haven't African leaders said things like this before? Sure, some have, but this moment feels different. Why? Because the world is changing and Africa is changing with it. For years we've been told to wait our turn, to follow the rules set by others. But now we're writing our own rules. France used to have a tight grip on countries like mine. They had military bases, controlled our economies, and acted like they owned us. But we pushed them out. Mali did it. Niger did it. Burkina Faso did it. And we're not stopping there. When I spoke out against Netanyahu, I wasn't just talking about one man or one country. I was talking to every nation that's ever looked at Africa and seen a place to exploit. I was talking to the leaders who think they can scare us with sanctions, bombs, or angry words. I was telling them that Africa is rising and we're not afraid anymore. My speech wasn't reckless, it was necessary. It was a reminder to the world that we're not just here to survive, we're here to thrive, to build, to lead. You know what's interesting? After I spoke, Israel's government didn't say a word. No response, no statement, nothing. That silence speaks louder than any speech. It tells me they weren't ready for someone like me to stand up and call them out. They're used to African leaders who stay quiet, who play nice, who don't make waves. But I'm not here to play nice. I'm here to tell the truth, no matter who it makes uncomfortable. The Western media, they barely touched the story. They didn't want to give it airtime because it doesn't fit their narrative. They want to keep painting Africa as a place that's weak, divided, and dependent. But we're changing that narrative. Every time someone shares my speech, every time a hashtag trends, every time another African leader stands with me, we're rewriting the story of our continent. We're showing the world who we really are. I didn't set out to become a symbol. I'm just a man from Burkina Faso, fighting for my people. But when I look at the messages pouring in from young people, from elders, from mothers and fathers across Africa, I realize this is bigger than me. People are calling me a voice for the continent, a symbol of defiance. They see me standing up to a powerful leader like Netanyahu, and it gives them hope. It reminds them that we don't have to live in fear. I'm not doing this for fame or attention. I'm doing it because I believe in Africa. I believe in our strength, our history, our future. I believe in the dreams of our ancestors who fought for freedom. I believe in the young people who are ready to build a new Africa, one where we don't beg for scraps, but sit at the table as equals. Let me tell you about the Sahel Alliance, because this is where the future starts. Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, we're coming together, not just as neighbors, but as brothers. We're building a partnership that says, if you attack one of us, you attack all of us. We're sharing resources, sharing ideas, sharing strength. We're showing the world that Africa can stand on its own 2 feet. This isn't just about fighting off threats. It's about building something new. We want schools where our children learn our history, not someone else's. We want hospitals that save lives, not empty buildings. We want economies that lift up our people, not foreign companies that take our wealth. The Sahel Alliance is just the beginning. I dream of a day when all of Africa stands together, north, south, east, west, united as one. To the leaders out there who still think they can control Africa, hear me now. Your time is up. We're not your backyard. We're not your resource bank. We're not your punching bag. If you think you can threaten us, bribe us, or scare us, you're in for a surprise. Africa is waking up, and we're remembering who we are. We're the children of kings and queens, warriors and builders. We're the future, and we're ready to fight for it. To my African brothers and sisters, this is our moment. Don't be afraid. Don't let anyone tell you we can't do this. Share this message. Stand up in your communities. Demand your rights. Support leaders who fight for you, not for foreign interests. Together, we can build an Africa that's strong, proud, and free. Some people might say my words were too bold, too risky. They might say I'm picking a fight we can't win. To them, I say, staying silent is the real risk. Letting others walk all over us is the real danger. I spoke out because I believe in my people. I believe in our right to live free, to make our own choices, to shape our own future. If that makes some people uncomfortable, so be it. I'm not here to make friends with those who disrespect us. I'm here to fight for what's right,